Right. What's going on, everybody? This is Danny. Made it back again with another playoff preview. This time, C2. We got a couple new guests this time, and I'm gonna let them introduce herself and where they're from and kind of what they do.
Um, my name's Joel Supp. I am the business digital media teacher at Boone Central. I wear a lot of hats here. I coach the speech team. I'm a volleyball coach. I also run the broadcasting program here at Boone Central. I'm also Albion grad, so I've been a Cardinal for a long time. And when Nathaniel asked me to jump on, I was super excited. So I'm ready to roll.
I'm Keyton Arens. I play football here at Cedar Catholic. I'm a receiver and a DB.
Breiton Whitmire. I also play football at Cedar Catholic. I'm running back in DB.
All right, sweet. We're gonna jump right into the preview now. We're just gonna skim over kind of what happened last week. Last week I went 6-2 in my picks. The two losses I had were Boone Central losing and Valentine as well. And my fantasy team had 195.9 points, so they had a good outing. Um, yeah, so some of the surprises that week, I thought Boone Central was probably going to win, but of course, things didn't go their way, and they lost late in that game. What were some of your guys' biggest surprises that week?
Well,
I'd say probably Boone Central, and just they kind of shot themselves in the foot, I guess. Just didn't come prepared, I'd say.
yeah, I was broadcasting that game, and every time it seemed like the Cards were going to drive down and kind of take control. They'd get about to the 25-yard line. I think we counted maybe three or four drives in a row where they got down to the 25 and then something would go wrong. They'd get a negative play or they'd pick up a penalty. And credit to Raymond Central. They're athletic and they came prepared. They came ready to play. And when it mattered most, they made the plays. So I was expecting a Boone Central win, and I was expecting a rematch with the Knights this week. But that was good on Raymond Central. They played really well.
Yeah, they did. So now we're just going to head into this week. We're going to preview and predict every single of these four matchups here. We're going to start off with number one Norfolk Catholic versus number nine Raymond Central. This is a game that people are going to look at and say Norfolk Catholic's going to take it very easily. I kind of see it a little bit different. Although I do think they have a little bit of advantage. I'm going to let someone else start on this one because I have some more scheme type of things with this one.
I'll jump in real quick because I just saw Raymond Central play. I have not gotten to see Norfolk Catholic play, but everything I've heard has been outstanding. I would take the Knights here. Just Coach Beller's been doing this a long time, and I would expect him to have his guys ready to play. But Jelinek, the quarterback, is outstanding for Raymond Central, and Tavion Johnson is a fantastic athlete on the outside, and I think he's going to create matchup problems for anyone they play. But I guess and the other kid who stuck out was Taylor, the running back. I think that's his name, number six, kind of their fullback on their when they run their dive option concept. He played really well too, offensively and defensively. So I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I would take the Knights in this one.
Yeah, honestly, I 100% agree with you. Um, Coach Beller has been doing this a long time. You can tell he knows what he's doing. And the Knights are a tough team to beat. They have a lot of talent and obviously coach very well. And it's hard as another team to go out and just beat the Knights in both halves because Coach Beller will always pull something out of his pocket. So I think I'm going to take the Knights on this one too.
I think I'm gonna go with the Knights, but a close one, surprisingly, because I think they got a lot of firepower on offense. Raymond Central does, but I think Hayden Kelly will lock up their number one receiver.
Yeah, I went back and I watched a little bit of tape of both of these teams. I watched Norfolk Catholic's game Boone Central and as well as Raymond Central. I watched Raymond Central versus Malcolm as well. But one of the big things that I think that Raymond Central could take advantage of is Norfolk Catholic. Their linebackers are coached to follow the pullers very hard, and that kind of leaves some quarterback run openings. And I think that's maybe the biggest weakness Norfolk Catholic has is the quarterback one runs. And I think Yellownick can really take advantage of that if they really go in that direction. But the linebackers following the polls, that's just a testament to the rest of the roster. That's they're going to take care of business, and most of the time they do, and they have for uh, 10 games this season. But I do really like the Catholic defense. They play a too high safety, and that's really going to limit the explosive play. So I don't think Tavion Johnson is going to have a monster game, but I do think he can have an all right game and put them in positions to win if everything goes right. But I think if Raymond Central wants to win this game, it's going to have to be a low scoring game, and they're going to have to keep Norfolk Catholic out of the end zone too many times. They're going to really run down the clock because that's just their kind of style. But yeah, I have Norfolk Catholic in this one.
I would
All
agree.
right. We're going to go over to the number two game. Number two, Bishop Newman versus number seven, Cedar Catholic. I'm going to let the Cedar Catholic guys start on this one. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys planning to do here without leaking too much of a game plan?
I think I like our chances, and I think they're one-dimensional, and you can definitely see that with the stats and stuff in the film. And I think I like our chances, so I got us in a close game, dogfight, but I think we pull out on top.
Yeah, and I don't like to be biased, but I mean, you kind of gotta be here. I agree with Keaton on this. They are very one dimensional, and they they kind of need a. I feel like we can do a very good job limiting the run game, obviously, which is what's going to be. So, I mean, I gotta take us, but yeah. So I got Cedar Catholic.
All right, I got a quick Cedar Catholic story for you. I'm going to say the year's 1995. Cedar Catholic's playing Albion High School, and I pop into the game because we scored a touchdown. And I line up on the extra point team, and I look at the left tackle, and I say, "Hey, there's only one guy out here. Why is everyone else on the other side of the line, on the other side of the center?" Well, as the ball was snapped and I was flying backwards through the air, I realized it was Russ Hochstein. They didn't need anybody else. So Northeast Nebraska guys are built just a little bit different. And I agree with the fellas from Cedar Catholic. I just have a feeling the Trojans are going to find a way to shut Booth down and get that dub. And hey, Mid-State Conference, Northeast Nebraska football is really tough. Give me the Trojans in a very tight one.
Yeah, I have a little more scheme stuff. I think the biggest key when I went back and I watched some film, I think the biggest keys of this game is going to be that Hartington Cedar Catholic interior line. That's number 55, Will Steffen, and number 58. That wasn't listed on the roster, so I'm not 100% sure. But those guys a huge factor in this game. That Bishop Newman offensive line is awesome. I don't know who their offensive line coach is, but he deserves to maybe get some looks at maybe moving up a little bit because they are awesome getting up to the second level. They double team very well, and they're a dominant offensive line, so that kind of helps Connor Booth a lot, and he's already a dynamic player. Um, but I trust if they're going to the outside, that the DBs are going to tackle well because I said that last game against Boone Central they did awesome containing Brogan Benish when it came to the outside runs and they limited him there. He had a couple big runs in that game, but another note I have on this game is Hartington Cedar Catholic stats against the run this year, trying to just get a little bit of comparison going. Uh, so here's them against the top rushers. Uh, they held Oakland Craig's Silas Nelson to 37 yards last game. They held Battle Creek, which was an awesome rushing defense. They held them to 2.4 yards per carry. The running back one had 2 yards per carry, my mistake. And then Brogan Benish was 6.5 yards per carry without any film at all. So I think if a team is going to take out Bishop Neumann, it's going to be Hartington Cedar Catholic because they have just been awesome against the run. And for offensively, I think they just need to play their game, get the ball out to really everybody. I think that they can make an impact. They have a couple playmakers on their side. Um, yeah, so I think this is going to be a really close game. And I think if we get the Hartington Cedar Catholic that ended that game last week against Oakland Craig, I think they're going to win this one. Number three, Kearney Catholic versus number five, Wood River. This is another game where these two teams I think, are on a lower tier than some of the other ones. That's no discredit to them because they both have individually some awesome players, and one of those awesome players is Bo Rorich from Wood River. I think he's a really awesome player. I think they're gonna really lean on him as they have all season. I think these two teams are just very evenly matched. And what do you guys think on this one?
Well, I've heard from the fellas in the hallways here how tough Rorich was to tackle and to play against. And just looking over some of the Kearney Catholic stuff that I've seen, I mean, I would agree. I was having a hard time kind of deciding who I would pick in this one because I saw a little bit of Wood River online when we played them. I haven't seen Kearney Catholic at all, but hearing the fellas talk about their running back, give me Wood River.
I got so Jacob Bothhammer, Kearney Catholic's quarterback. He's pretty good quarterback. He has 21 touchdowns passing on the year and 4 rushing. I think he puts up a fight, and he's got that Owen Axman as a receiver. He's pretty good duo there. But I think Rich is just too big of a running back for them to take down. So I got Wood River too.
Yeah, and just to add on that, Roderick he's averaging almost 200 rushing yards a game. He's got 22 touchdowns on the year. He's just a force to be reckoned with. So because of that, I got Wood River.
Yeah, I know what I'm about to say is a little crazy, but whenever I watch him run, he reminds me a lot of Saquon Barkley. Just the way he's built and the way he runs, it reminds me of him a little bit. Obviously, he's not Saquon, but he runs like him. I see the player comparison a little bit. But last week, Wood River did an awesome job on the ground. They had Bo, he had 273 yards rushing, three touchdowns, and averaged 10.9 per carry. And then Madden Brabick had 168 yards, two touchdowns, and 8.8 yards per carry. And Kearney Catholic didn't run the ball very well on Valentine. So I think that it's going to be a close game, but I think Wood River is just going to pull this one out because I like their chances on the run game, and that's what wins football games in the end of the day. All right, and so for our last matchup in the final or the Elite Eight here is number three Battle Creek versus number six Malcolm. This is another game. Last week I did say that Malcolm is a high floor, low ceiling type of team, and I still think that kind of holds up. But I did really like their performance last week. They had a really nice game. I couldn't tell you the stats because they weren't up by this point, but went and watched some film. I really like the scheme that Malcolm runs. They do a lot of eye candy type of stuff, and they're going to confuse some of the guys. They have a lot of people in the backfield sometimes, and they get guys moving. And I like their passing game as well. I watched the Raymond Central game, and Raymond Central really sold out to stop the pass. They had a 4-3-3, and they were not going to allow anything really deep. So that kind of tells me that there is a threat of a pass. I didn't watch too much Malcolm, so I think that the film says a little bit there. What do you guys got on this one?
Well, I can go first here. My area, Northeast Nebraska bias is gonna come through here. Nathaniel, you probably know a lot more than you watch more film than I have on Malcolm. If this was a speech meet, I'd take Malcolm, but since it's a football game, I'm not sure how much Battle Creek, how much attention to eye candy that they're gonna play. So I'll take the Braves in a tough one, but I think it will be close. But give me the Braves.
I think Malcolm here, their quarterback and their receiver, Logan McGuire and Carson Frank, they're a good duo, and I think he can swing it. I think Logan McGuire is fast. We played him our sophomore year, I think, and caused us some troubles as a sophomore. So I think he's a pretty good player, but I don't think they can stop Battle Creek's run with Jackson Mettler and their quarterback runs and their veers. So I got Battle Creek.
Yeah, and to add on to that, Battle Creek's offensive and defensive line is just they're special. They're a very good group of guys. And Battle Creek's rushing offense is just it's too good. Yeah, I can't see a way Malcolm could stop this, so I'm gonna take Battle Creek.
Yeah, the notes I had were all the positives were about the running game. So I agree with you guys 100%. I like some of the Malcolm playmakers they have. You guys mentioned Logan McGreer. He's pretty fast and shifty. I like him, but I think Battle Creek is going to run the ball down their throat a little bit. So I think Battle Creek should win this one. And that's going to end off our playoff preview on this segment. So this is going to lead us to the fantasy football part. We're going to take some active players in this round of playoffs. I'm going to make a little bit of an adjustment here. We're only going to take one running back and one receiver because it gets kind of deep on max preps and kind of hard to find. So I think I'm going to get a little easier with all of us drafting. So we'll take one quarterback, one running back, one receiver, one tight end, and then a flex. So that's just a little bit of adjustment. But I'm gonna let some guests go first. I'll let the solo guy go first. I'll let Mr. Joel Sub go first here.
All right, so I've got a real dilemma here because I just picked the Trojans, but the boys in seventh period digital media, they're probably going to be watching. They watch this show. Um, they made me promise to take Connor Booth, so I got to take Booth with the first pick. But I'm sticking with my Trojans selection in the game.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer there. And now one of you two, one of either Keyton or Breiton can go here.
So can we do our team together, or is that fine?
Yeah,
Just do
that
one team.
works. That'll work.
Uh, we'll take Bo Rich with the first pick. I like what he does.
Yeah, that's another no-brainer there. For my pick, I have two here. I'm gonna take Brighton on this one. He's you're gonna contribute to my fantasy team. Uh, and then I'm gonna take Madden Brabeck from Wood River as well. He had an awesome game last week, and that's gonna head us back to the Hardington team here.
So I think for our second pick, we're gonna go with tight end Max Hammond for the Knights. Um, he's just been a force all year.
And now, Joel, you have two picks here in a row.
Oh, holy cow! Okay, do we have is the Kearney Catholic quarterback still there?
Yep.
Give me Bosshammer. That's a pretty cool name. So give me him and let's go give me we've got Max Ham. Give me Tavion then.
Yeah, he's probably my number one receiver as far as fantasy goes. And now, Keaton and Brighton are going to head up and make their next pick.
I'll take. Give me Jackson Mettler from Battle Creek, rushing upside there.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big thing. For my wide receiver, man, this is kind of tough. I would take Logan McGreer here, but I like how disciplined those Battle Creek DBs are. They did pretty well against Norfolk Catholic. So mm, I'm gonna go with Gavin Gale from Raymond Central. He had a long touchdown pass or catch last week against Boone Central.
He played well. I called his name a lot.
And then for my wraparound pick, I'm gonna take Jared Kernick, the tight end. I think he's the number one tight end in this group right now. I'll take him.
Then I'll take. Let's go with Owen Axman from Kearney Catholic receiver.
And Joel, you have another wraparound here.
Tight end. Guys have to tell me if this is taken. Connor Newhaven from Battle Creek.
You're good there.
Okay, I'll take him. The what? So now I need a flex.
Yep.
What about Pocop from Battle Creek? Is he there?
Yep.
I'll take him.
Two pretty
Running back.
solid picks. Pretty high on my big board I have here.
I was going to take that Bishop Newman tight end. That was my next pick. Where you took him?
And now,
And then for my flex position, I'll take Jameson Cotta from Cedar Catholic.
yeah, that's another good pick. I was kind of hoping it'd be there. I don't know why I was hoping that. Two Cedar guys in front of me. But anyways, I'm going to take Wyatt Yelnick, the quarterback. I'm going to have him lead the way. Maybe he can have another big rushing game. And then for my final pick, for my flex position, I'm going to take I'll take Logan McGreer.
I'll tell you, Yelling can sling it. If they can keep Yelling clean, he can sling the ball.
Yeah, they can.
And he can run it too.
He had two rushing touchdowns last week. I think he had a 30-point game for me last week. I drafted him last week. But I think that might be everyone's pick, right?
I think we're good.
All right, well, that's going to conclude everything. I appreciate you guys coming on. It's a little late, so appreciate you working with that. And hope you guys have an awesome night. And thanks everyone for tuning in. And good luck to you boys that are playing this Friday. And I think I might stop by and take a little bit of pictures that game.
Yes, sir, we appreciate it.
No
Hey, good
problem.
luck to Cedar Catholic.
Thank you.
Thank you.